again. Damn, why my shirt catching like that? Let's see. Yeah, that's a little better. We live again. See if we can get these people up in that thing, man. Get these people up in that thing. We live on both channels or what? Yeah, we live on both Storytime channels right now. Okay. Let's go to this page. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you smash that like button. We have another one for you guys, my friend. Man, the last pack. Good evening, hey. The last pack that the weed man gave me, man, that shit was trash. I told him I need something different. He said, this what you want. He said, this what you want right here. This what I want. Let me roll it up then. Y'all know how the game go. Before we start our engines, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get rolled up, get your drink, get your popcorn. You feel me? John, I see you on We Still Hustle Daily too. Rhonda, I see you. What's up? What's up? I see y'all. Yeah, man, I had to tell the weed man, shit, I don't want that shit no more. I had to mix that shit with grava and everything. Like, I don't be liking to smoke no tobacco and shit. You know, I smoke the hemp papers, hemp wraps, I mean, and the papers. But, man, that was some bullshit. Nigga, don't sell me that shit no more. Give me the good shit. Give me the good shit, man. So we about to test this shit out before we get started. So I'm gonna give everybody time. Get your drinks ready. Y'all know I don't drink, so get your drinks, get your cocktail, get your little daiquiri ready. You know what I'm saying? We in for a good one. Looks pretty good. So I'm gonna goddamn roll this up right now. I'm almost done. I'm gonna let a couple of people get in here. Oh, we got 11 people over here and 9 people over there. Okay. We rocking and we rolling. Make sure you get your filter. Alright. Make sure you get your filter. Boom. Put it right there like that right there. Weed man said this the good shit. So let's see. We about to smoke this shit up. Let's see what this shit hitting like right here. That other shit was some bullshit. Fuck that shit, man. Don't give me that shit no more. Hey, the shit looked good in the video that he sent, though. The shit looked good in the video that he sent. Then, when I smoked that shit, I'm like, whoa. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. But this look better. Ooh, we got a fatty, too. Holy! Fatty, she got a fatty. Let me get that lighter. I'm almost ready, y'all. Y'all ready? About to get this shit started. We might be here for a long time. We might not. I'm gonna see how long I wanna do. Feel me? We gonna see. I know y'all gotta tap in. Feel me? We going live every day. You feel me? We gonna try to go live every day. Shit, on both Storytime channels. Make sure y'all tap in. Y'all ready? Let me get a start your engines. Y'all ever seen what was that scene? I think it was like the Little Rascals when they was about to race. Damn, bring back childhood memories. Holy. Alright, here we go. Weed man, let me see. Weed man said this was some better shit right here. Let's see, goddamn. We about to see, goddamn. Let's test that motherfucker out real quick. Here we go. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Hey guys. So did I ever tell you about that time that I was pregnant and my grandmother was dying before my eyes and my baby daddy refused to allow me to move back into the home that I paid for? Yeah, it gets crazy. So I'm fresh into pregnancy, fresh into being engaged, and this is a little backstory before we get to that point. So we're living in Georgia, and it's just constant everything, constant cheating, constant him being on the road, him putting his hands on me, just everything. And once again, I find out that he's cheating for the millionth time. And like I said before, it was like extreme psychological abuse, extreme psychological manipulation between he and his mother. And it was really hard to let go. Because just a little insight, I'm an Aquarius. It's very easy for me to let go. Like, I don't think I've ever had a problem with letting go of anybody once they have me fucked up, right? But this situation was different because I've never really been too close to someone's family as far as like them being super involved in my relationship. So no one's ever, had the option to tell me to stay or convince me to stay. So anyways, I find out he's cheating for the 100th time, and he ends up, him and his mom end up telling me that I should stay. And mind you, he beats me once I find out and try to leave. So after all of that, because I'm trying to speed up the story, they convinced me to stay. His mom says, you know what, you guys need to go on a trip. It needs to just be you guys. Like, you guys are just on edge. It's a new baby coming. He's dealing with this, and that. You guys go on a little nearby vacation and enjoy.
We got a mama's boy. I wonder why his mama didn't say nothing about him beating her ass. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, we are going to give a little commentary. This is just not watch a video time, all right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yourselves and get back to you guys. So, of course, I agree. So, we end up going to DC and New York. And this is to be making up for him cheating. When we get to New York, I'm going to skip past DC because it wasn't too interesting. But when we get to New York, basically, we walk into this hotel that I had booked and found, and he's like taking photos of the view and everything like that. And I see him like on his phone, and I'm like, oh, you sending those text messages to one of your little girlfriends? And he like goes off about how I'm being insecure and I can never leave the past in the past, and we're supposed to be here to make up and blah, 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 blah. Just gaslighting the fuck out of me, right? Then basically on our last night, we stay at my sister's house. She lives in Brooklyn. So we stayed there, and his phone keeps going off. Mind you, the whole trip it's been going off super late at night. He's been in the bathroom for an extended period of time, walking out the room, all these different things, right? And I asked him, like, who's texting you? And I think I, like, seen the name Jackie or something, or I seen, like, I seen something that made me ask that. And he says, oh, that's just my friend's fiance. She's throwing a surprise party for him, but it's out of the country. And, I can't go out of the country because I'm a felon. Mind you, he's not a felon. It's something that he enjoys telling people, I guess, because he thinks it's cool. But he like had a felony that dropped down to a misdemeanor. He has no felonies whatsoever, but likes to tell people that. So anywho, so he goes out of the country. He's like, I can't go out of the country. So, I told her. And
yo, dude ass is crazy. You see, I just got a fresh cut. Oh, damn, how you know? You see me, goddamn, you checking me out. You see me? You see I got that fresh cut on that ego. Got it fresh as fuck on y'all ass.
She's not going to text me anymore. And I'm like, it's odd that she's texting you, and then I don't even know about this person having a girlfriend, fiance, whatever, but whatever. So it's now the next morning, and we're getting in the car. He's bringing all the bags to the car and everything, and his phone's plugged up on Apple CarPlay. So his phone ends up showing that girl's number pop up. So I'm like, he said that she's never going to text anymore after that. So I go through the messages, and I see that this is in fact not any sort of friend of his girl. This is a girl that he's been talking to, a girl that he in fact was sending photos of our room to, saying that he's going to take her on this on a trip, and all this stuff, bragging as if he's like just out handling business, like making moves, when actuality he's in DC and New York trying to make up with his pregnant fiance for cheating on her and beating her. So he ends up getting in the car, because I end up texting her like, hey, do you know he's engaged and has a baby on the way? And she's like, explaining no, and oh, he's got me fucked up, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I leave the messages open and put the phone on the seat so he could see it. And
that's cap. she ain't got him. He ain't got her fucked up. Some girls cool with being a side chick. Shout out to y'all. I fucks with y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Some girls is cool with being side chicks. I fucks with it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I take off the ring and put it in the cup holder, right? Because I'm just like so over it at this point. My sister's getting in the car, so he can't really, respond like he wants to. He just sees I took off the ring, and abusers and narcissists, they know who not to do that shit in front of. Like, and one thing I could say, he's never tried me in front of my family, because I'm sure he knows how that would end for him, but he's never tried it ever. So in that moment, after I take off the ring and leave the phone there, he could say absolutely nothing. But once again, back to me being an Aquarius, you feel the fucking energy. So my sister is just awkward as hell in the back seat, because she knows something just transpired, because I'm quiet, I have no appetite, I'm ready for this shit to be over. And we were supposed to all be going to breakfast together. So pretty much all of that shit ends. We say our goodbyes, drop her off back at the house, and we go on our way to Georgia. And, I'm telling him, I'm just done. It's, ridiculous. And he's just, gaslighting me. Oh, you just don't want to be happy with me. You're always trying to find something. Blah, 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 blah. There shouldn't be anything to find, obviously. So, we're driving. We're, going. At this point, we're, in Carolina or somewhere. I don't remember where we are. And I'm not good with maps. But we're pretty far out. It's been some hours. And a number pops up. Mind you, there's this girl who he's cheated on me with our entire relationship. Some girl named after a damn condiment. She's like a stripper. And which there's nothing wrong with strippers. I love a stripper. But this girl was someone who he constantly cheated on me with. All the time, to the point where at this point it's just be with the girl. So my point in saying all of that is I have memorized the girl's last 4 digits of her number, because that's how big of an issue she had been in our relationship, as far as him, not cutting this girl off. So her number pops up, and I'm like, this is exactly why. This is so funny. I bust out laughing, and he's like, that's not her number, and tries to gaslight me. And mind you, I start questioning myself, okay, maybe it's just one number off. And I literally, it sounds psychotic, but I don't care. I saved the girl's number because I wanted to make sure I had it. And I look at it and I'm like, this is really the girl's number. You little sicko. So basically it's the girl's number. And this is the girl who he has been saying he hasn't talked to in months, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and all of this stuff, and that he cut off. But that wasn't the case. So he pretty much gets infuriated that he's caught again for the 5th time on this trip. So he spazzes out. He's grabbing me by my hair and everything and telling me give him my phone. He wants to go through my phone now. Let's see what you're doing, because really you're probably doing something and that's why you can't trust me. Or just maybe this is woman's intuition. Just maybe you have a pattern and I am realizing it, so he basically is just spazzing out, wants my phone. And I'm like, I'm not giving you my phone. And of course he gets more aggressive. So when he gets aggressive, I just give him my phone and I'm like, go through it. Go ahead. You're looking for something to justify what you've been doing, and you're not going to find it, because the difference between you and I is that I'm loyal and you're not. So he basically goes through the phone, doesn't find anything.
All right. What y'all thinking so far? She should have left him a long time ago, obviously, but this was crazy, though. She said she was pregnant, and he still beat on her. Why y'all don't be calling the police when these niggas be hitting y'all, man? Why y'all don't be calling the police? Somebody let me know that shit. You put your fucking hands on me, I'm trying to send your ass to jail or hell. You feel me? This shit serious. Don't touch me. I ain't touching you. You see what I'm talking about? So, I don't know, man. Man, this weed is good too. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The nigga told me this was the pack. This is the fucking pack. All right, I'm feeling it. Straight up. We about to move on to part 2 though. Ain't nobody better not put their fucking hands on me.
So he goes through the phone, doesn't find anything, and he gets even more infuriated by that. So he like throws the phone at me, and when he throws the phone, he hits me. So I'm just kind of like over it at this point. Wow. I'm infuriated. My hormones are raging, everything. So I pull the steering wheel and I say, get the fuck off the freeway. Like, get off the freeway. I'm done. I'm getting the fuck out of the car. I'm done. And if you ever put your fucking hands on me again, I'm gonna call my brothers. That's exactly what I told him. I told him I would call.
Damn, why she been ain't called her brothers? That'd be another thing y'all ladies don't be doing either. Y'all don't even call it brothers. Okay, y'all don't want to go to jail, so okay. Some people is like that. I don't give a fuck. You going to jail, I don't give a fuck. I gotta do whatever I gotta do to win. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't even call your brothers to go beat his ass. Like, damn.
My brothers, if and that is a threat that I don't ever use, right? I have multiple brothers. I have 4 brothers. I don't
oh, they would have. What? If I was her, I would have had my brothers have a field day with his beat his ass. Who just got their ass beat like that by multiple people? I'm trying to think. Maybe it's another story I was looking at. A motherfucker got their ass beat. Like, she should have had all 4 of them huddled up, and beat his ass. Like, damn.
Never use that because I don't feel like my brothers should be involved in anything that I've gotten myself into, right? But I wanted him to understand, like, we're at that level that it's going to really end badly for you if I involve them. So let's just stop right here. Get me out of the car and let's be done. So I get out of the car and it's like this little diner and we're like in Carolina or somewhere. I don't know where. And I go inside the diner and he's like following me in and they notice him right off the bat. Like, we're literally the only black people in this establishment right now. So they're just all staring at us and then they see his aggression. They see me kind of like, you know, hastily running or, you know, walking, trying to get away from him. And I think that they gave me, I don't know if they gave me I don't know if they called the police or what they did. They did something to where he walked out, he left. And he's like sitting in the car and he's calling his mom and he's trying to get her to convince me to get back in the car with him. And like, oh, this is a little racist town. It's dangerous. We don't need to be there. And they're going to call the police on him. You know, same old story. So she ends up saying all of this and I'm just like, no, not this time. Like, this time I am truly done. So I say, I'm not gonna go. Tell him to leave. I'll get a hotel and I'm flying back home to California tomorrow. So I do all of that. I get on a plane and the craziest thing ever, and it's like really just how God works, is while I'm on my layover or switching planes, I think I was switching planes to get to California, I get a call saying that my grandmother just had like a heart attack and they're basically trying to resuscitate her. They just resuscitated her, and it was basically like being said that we all needed to come to the hospital because we were probably going to be saying our goodbyes to her. And it was crazy because I was on a flight home to California to, you know, come back home. So anywho, basically my grandmother ends up deciding she doesn't want to have her pacemaker in place anymore. She, you know, was like, she had some bad aftermath of the CPR. So she would have been like kind of like paralyzed. So she decided that that wasn't a way of life, and she didn't want to, you know, live anymore in that state, which I was very upset about, of course, because this is my Nana. She helped raise me. I've lived in the same house as her since I was like 8 or 7. So this is a lot to be dealing with while pregnant, right? And fleeing an abusive relationship. So pretty much he ends up flying out to California during this time to try and convince me to come back home. And in doing so, we meet at his mom's house because I'm really trying to work things out. We're engaged. We have a baby on the way. I really don't know like how to go on from this situation. So I'm trying to do my absolute best to make things work if they can. And I'm like telling him like, you're going to have to go to therapy. You're going to have to really change, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, I am. I've already made an appointment. He says he made an appointment with therapy, all this stuff. So he goes to the bathroom and his phone's left on the bed. And I take the opportunity and tell myself like, okay, if he has anything in this phone, you're done. You're going to fly back home to Georgia. You're going to pack your car up and you're going to get it shipped here or towed here, whatever they do. And I go through the phone and he's like on every dating app there is. He's on Tinder. He's messaging girls. The night I left, he was messaging someone. Like, it was just like, yeah, I'm done. So I end up taking a flight to Georgia. He doesn't know that's what I'm doing. I play everything cool because if I don't, we know what will happen then. So I fly home to Georgia and I pack my car with everything that I can, all of my belongings. And I arrange for it to be brought to California. So then I come back and, he's obviously upset because I'm moving back to California. So how we get to the part of me wanting to come back home is, he's been talking to me. We're like actively trying to fix our relationship because we're engaged. We have a baby on the way. So he's telling me like, he's actively working. He's in therapy. He's going to therapy. He is, just stacking money for the arrival of our baby. He misses me, all these different things, right? But I'm noticing like he's not talking to me during the day. And I'm like, that's kind of odd. Or like he talks to me at random times or, he's saying like he's busy or whatever. And I'm going through it at this point because I've never carried a child to term. So I'm like, dealing with pregnancy, wanting, affection from my partner, wanting to enjoy this experience while also simultaneously dealing with the death of my grandmother who has helped raise me my entire life, right? So I'm going through a lot at this point, and I'm kind of just like, what's going on? Like, I don't get it. Like, your words aren't matching up, like, blah, 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 blah. And I end up looking online and I find the girl that's named after the condiment. She is literally posted in our house. Mind you, this house, his mother got the house in her name. I paid for the house because he wasn't in the best financial position at that time. I owned a business and I had saved money. So I paid the move-in cost for the house, which is like $5,000. I bought all of the furniture. I think his mom helped with like, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000 or something like that. But I furnished this entire house, decorated the entire house. So like, obviously I know my house. So she's like standing in the stairwell. Then she takes another picture and it was one of my candles that she had been burning on the back of the toilet. And then, the paint on the wall. So I knew it was my house. So I'm like, so you have a girl in the house? Now, mind you, prior to me seeing these photos, what prompted me to go and look is that I had started bleeding and I had like really high stress levels. And I had just found out we were having a gender reveal and we had to speed up the process of the gender reveal because my grandmother was like rapidly dying and she wasn't responsive anymore. So I wanted to know what gender it was. I wanted to be able to share that moment with her, I wanted to be able to enjoy that moment. So, he doesn't come to the gender reveal. He ends up saying he couldn't make it, all of these things. And it's like, mind you, this is his first child. This is his first biological child. So it's like, whoa, okay. So he doesn't come and I end up trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on. Because I'm like super stressed out. I'm pregnant. My grandmother's dying. So then, like I said, I start bleeding. So then I go to the hospital because I'm thinking I'm having a miscarriage. So I told him like, I'm just dealing with so much stress. I really feel like I need to go home. I cannot bear seeing my grandmother like this. Like, it is too much, you know, like literally it's way too much. My grandmother is like the strongest woman that I haven't ever known in my life, you know, and will probably ever know in my lifetime. So seeing her in that state was doing so much to me while I'm carrying your child, right? So he's like, oh, we're not in a good space right now. We're not in a good space. And I'm like, we're not in a good space. Like, you know, I'm super confused at this point.
Okay, that's part two. Y'all still rocking with me? Everybody still alert? Somebody say she too pretty to be getting hit on for sure. This shit is crazy. Hey, you know what? You know how to see if a nigga like really like if a nigga like fucking up, like he done fucked up already. She should have been left, and we know that when he put his hands on her. But you know, like if a nigga, you know how to get a nigga to see if a nigga really fuck with you or not is to leave his stupid ass alone. You feel me? Leave his stupid ass alone. And if he try to come running back and you still don't take him back type shit, like, that's what you gotta do. Like I say, he passed that stage though. This nigga don't give a fuck. This nigga don't give a fuck. This nigga bringing goddamn. That's another thing too. I just thought about that. Why the fuck was she paying? Why the fuck was the house in the mama's name? Like, hell no. Like, if I'm paying for the motherfucking house, it can't be in nobody's name. But nah, hell nah. Damn.
Get out of the car. So basically, I'm just like super confused, and that's what prompted me to look at her page, because I'm like, I don't understand why I would be unable to come to our home. One, I paid for the fucking house. Two, your mom got this house for us to, you know, move into and, you know, raise a child in. Three, it just doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Because I'm pregnant and I'm telling you that, hey, I'm bleeding. Hey, my stress levels are incredibly high because I'm watching my grandmother die before my eyes while I carry my first child, a child that you are not assisting with the pregnancy whatsoever. Like, you know, I'm having cravings, I'm having pain, I'm having all sorts of things. Plus, like I said, I'm stressed because I'm watching my grandmother die. Why can't I not move back into our home if we're supposedly working on things and, you know, you're just stacking money and you're doing better and you're in therapy and all of this stuff? Well, the reason is because he moved in his side bitch into our home, and he obviously could not allow me to move in because she was living there. And I mean, it was absolutely crazy. Like, they were partying in the house, they were drinking, smoking hookah, having threesomes in my bed. I mean, just everything. The stuff that I found out. And I mean, like, when I say find out, I later on, once we did get back into a relationship after, you know, once I was like 8 months pregnant, the stuff that I seen in his phone with the timestamps of that time period were fucking disgusting. Like, literally having threesomes in our bed, literally spending money on females, like, while not sending $1 to me to assist with anything during the pregnancy at all. It was just like the most traumatizing experience ever. And that's why I'm 4 years, 4 years into being a mom. And even though I'm in a wonderful relationship, I'm not looking to, you know, have children anytime soon, because that experience was so traumatizing, and it's just like the worst thing ever. Like, it's the worst thing ever. So that was that story.
Yeah, that boy, wow. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on.
So this part, when leaving a narcissist, an abuser.
Somebody say you can never indulge with people like him. You have to stay silent, make a plan, and execute. Also, never think their family is your
You cannot
ally.
tell them your plan. You cannot tell them you're leaving. And it's so difficult to do as a woman, especially if you care about a person or want things to work, because you're hoping that they'll see, oh, she's going to leave, let me, change. With narcissists and with people that are abusive to this extent, they don't actually change. Instead, they put on their mask. So they then pretend that they've learned their lesson. They pretend like they really care. So it's really dangerous to say anything to them during that time. That's why I stayed for so long, because I was constantly, telling them my plans. I'm done, I'm tired, I'm leaving, I can't do this anymore, instead of just going. And a part of that was probably me wanting them to, him to change and to do something different, right? But one thing that we have to accept when dealing with a person like this is that they're never going to. It would take God himself to change the heart of man in general, but like a man like that, right? And don't take their word for it either, because they will do that. He, said he was going to church, said he was going to therapy, and it turned out that he really truly wasn't. So he was saying all the things that I wanted to hear. He was repeating probably all the things that he's, seen online that men were saying the right things to do. So, like I said, they'll put on a mask. So like this woman said, make a plan and execute, and, never think their family is an ally. That's also a good one. In all of the stories that I've told thus far, family played a big part in it, because I did think that they were my allies. And I was also constantly looking for allies. I was looking for someone to believe me, because it's so much psychological abuse, right? It's so much of them saying, of them gaslighting you and making you feel like you're the crazy one, or, telling you, oh, you just don't love him, or, oh, you just don't love me. You're just trying to find problems and faults in me. So I was constantly looking for an ally. I was constantly looking for his friends and family to validate and, tell me like, no, you're right. Like, you should go, right? I was constantly looking for that, because I didn't want to leave. And then they can create whatever narrative they want to. But the most peace I got is when, and during that time when I just let go and let him, say whatever narrative he wanted to in that moment, right? And, people believed it, but that's why I am coming now, because I do think that they have to be exposed, narcissists and abusers. I think that, it's good to stay silent in the relationship, but they thrive in silence afterwards, because they get to, create whatever narrative that they want to, and they get to continue to abuse, because nobody knows their true self, because no one's exposing who they are. So that is a great comment and great advice, and I completely agree.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely gotta, when you tell them you're gonna leave their ass alone, you gotta really leave their fucking ass alone. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody say, him and that 304 would have had to go. I feel you on that. Somebody said I would have felt awkward staying in another lady's home. Yeah, cause the mama is gonna be on the son's side. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I learned my lesson about that shit, man. I was living with a motherfucker paying the bills. My name wasn't on that motherfucking lease, motherfuckers. Man, that girl motherfucking put me out. Like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck you gonna put me out? I'm the reason the lights on in this bitch. Never again. Fuck that shit. Straight up. Y'all wanna listen to a little bit more? She got a little bit more. Hold on. Let me see. She got an interesting little story, man. Y'all want to listen to some more or not? Let me know. Is we still in here? Is we still... Hello? Yeah, somebody said he's trash for sure. He's definitely trash. Somebody say I'm calling 911 for sure. Y'all gotta call 911. Okay, we're gonna listen to a little more, man. Hold on. I got y'all right here. We got a... What the fuck did I just do? Alright, we lit.
He thought that he could control me with money, but he thought that he could control me with money, but he thought that he could control me with money, but the only thing is that I had money myself, so it never worked out for him that way. So he would start to take my wallet because it would be things where he'd say, oh, leave the house.
Hold up. We gotta start this shit over, folks. What the fuck? Okay.
He thought that he could control.
Why the
He
fuck
thought that
don't it play from the beginning? Hold on, y'all. Let me try some shit real quick. That shit gotta play from the fucking beginning, bro. If it don't play this time, that shit don't work. There we
Okay,
go.
so this is the story of how my baby daddy tried to kill me in North Carolina and threatened to
Damn, this nigga
kill
done
me
did some
and
more
dispose
shit.
of my body in the swamps of Carolina,
Damn.
where my mother would never find me, as he said. So pretty much, as far as the abuse, it was always abuse that started due to the fact I was trying to leave. So it would be, I'm finding out he's cheating, there's disrespect, whether if it's him calling me out of my name, whatever the case may be, and me saying, I'm done, I want to go, I don't want to do this relationship. And he would go into a fit of rage. He'd strangle me, choke me, whatever, punch me, spit on me, whatever it took is what he would do. And it had gotten to the point where he thought that he could control me with money, but the only thing is that I had money myself, so it never worked out for him that way. So he would start to take my wallet because it would be things where he'd say, oh, leave the house. And it's like, okay, I'll go get a hotel, or I'll go get an apartment, or I'll drive off, I'll leave, I have a car. So he would start getting angry at that. So he would take my keys, he'd take my wallet. And on this particular day, I don't remember exactly what happened. It had to be cheating or something to that effect. But he took my my wallet. But I had gotten so used to this that I started carrying my ID and my bra. I don't remember what happened as far, I think I only had cash or something like that. But I didn't have any cards. So anywho, he had finished his little tantrum of putting his hands on me. I laid down on the bed, acted like everything was okay, and then when I got the chance, I walked out of the Airbnb. And the first person that I called was his mom. I had a good relationship with his mom. I loved his mom. I looked at her as a second mother, and she was my main point of support. And I say that lightly. And that was because when you're in an abusive relationship and you're kind of not ready to leave, it's like, you're not in a position to leave. For me, I wasn't in a position to leave because he had moved us across the country. So we're from California. He moved us to Georgia. And pretty much it was like I was filled with embarrassment. I didn't want to move back with my family. I had gotten rid of my apartment, sold my car. At that point, it was like, what would I go back to? So I stayed, and I couldn't tell my family because obviously they wouldn't like him, and obviously they would probably, do something to stop this. So I kept a relationship with her, and she's the person who I called when he put his hands on me, or she's the person that I talked to when things went wrong. And I felt like, okay, maybe she can separate it being her son, from right and wrong, and maybe give me some sound advice. And to be honest, I was hoping that she would. Sometimes I was hoping that she would tell me to leave or that I deserved better, but that never happened.
Some people moms gonna do that. Some people moms not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's like grandma or some shit. And then y'all know with they having babies young and shit. So I don't know. Maybe the grandmas is different now. I don't know.
So I'm walking down the street of Wilmington. I'm talking to her. I'm crying. I'm upset. I'm telling her, like, he just choked me. He just beat me. Can you please get me a ticket? I have cash on me. I will pay you as soon as I land in California. And she's like, what's wrong? What's going on? And I'm telling her what happened. And she's like, FaceTime me, FaceTime me. So I'm walking down the street. And at this time, iPhones didn't tell us when people were snapshotting, but it still would light up the sides of the phone. So I'm walking down the street and she's like snapshotting me. And I'm like, are you snapshotting me? And then it clicked in my head. She's trying to take a picture of where I am. And I said, are you taking a picture of my background so you could tell him where I am? And she was like, oh, it's just dangerous out there. You don't know the area and da-da-da-da-da-da, and all this bullshit, basically. And I'm like infuriated at this point, and I'm also feeling so alone and don't really know what to do, but I end up hanging up on her. And I think I call my cousin and ask her to get me an Airbnb, or not an Airbnb, an Uber to the airport. And I just figured, you know what, I'll just sleep at the airport and I'll figure it out. Like, I'll figure out some way between now and tomorrow to get this flight. So pretty much I end up getting the Uber, and then she's calling me back to back to back to back. I'm not answering her calls. I realized now, mind you, while I'm waiting for the Airbnb, his car's coming down the street and the Airbnb's coming at the same time. I'm on the opposite side. Luckily, I get into the Airbnb before he's able to make a U-turn. But he follows the Uber. I keep saying the Airbnb. He follows the Uber. And so he's following us to the airport. So I get on the phone and I'm telling her, like, can you please have him stop following? Like, I answer the phone and tell her this, and she's like, he's not going to let you leave, Janaea. He's not going to let you leave. It's dangerous. He's sorry, blah, 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 blah. And she would oftentimes speak for him. So, and we found this out later on in the relationship, that she would, say all these things. Oh, he's telling me to tell you he's so sorry. She would send flowers under his name. She was pretty obsessed. So she would do things to make me think that he cared, when actuality he was a piece of shit abuser and didn't give a fuck about anything, really. So she's telling me, like, no, he feels so bad, all of this stuff, right? And I'm like, listen, just please tell him to stop following the Uber. So we get to the airport, she's still calling, and I see him pull up behind the Uber, and there's police there and everything already. They're just for what they're doing at the airport. So she's like, listen, please, I don't want him to get arrested. You know that he already had a case out here. Do not, please, just get in the car with you. I promise he will not do anything to you. And I'm like, telling her I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, it's like almost like Stockholm syndrome. You really don't want anything to happen to this person because you think you love them, right? So eventually, she talks me into getting into the car with him. And I'm like, look, I'm going to get in the back seat. Just please tell him, do not talk to me. Get me to the Airbnb. I want a flight out tomorrow. Please just do this for me. And she's like, okay, I promise he's not going to do anything. I'll tell him you're going to sit in the back seat. So I get in the back seat and we're driving. Everything's silent. And the moment that we hit the end of being off of the airport property, he turns around and slaps the fuck out of me. And it's just like an instant realization of, what the fuck, you dumb bitch. Like, talking to myself, like, you are so fucking stupid. You really got into the car with this person after he just tried to strangle your ass, and you thought that it was going to be any different. And I did, but it wasn't. So he proceeds to basically kidnap me for the night, drives me around the swamps of Carolina, and the entire time he's telling me he's going to kill me and that my mom will never find my body. So I'm just in a frenzy. I'm like crying, pleading. I still have a phone. This is what the fucked up crazy part is. This is how I know I was brainwashed, because I had a fucking phone. Bitch, call the police. It didn't happen. I'm like, pleading with him. I'm my mom's only daughter, all of this bullshit. And I call his mom because I'm thinking, okay, she's going to talk some sense into him. I don't want to send him to jail. But I just want to be safe. So I call her, and he slaps the phone out of my hand. But she's still on the phone. I could see the phone with her name. And she's still sitting, listening. And I'm like, telling her what he's saying. She can hear it, everything. And I'm like, boo-hoo, crying. So pretty much he ends up pulling over on the side of the road, And I never knew the name of this body of water until I started writing my book, and I had researched what body of water was next to the Wilmington airport, and it's called Cape Fear River. So that's where he intended to kill me and drop my body, supposedly. So pretty much I end up seeing the phone turn off, like the phone hang up. And it was the craziest thing in the world to me, because I'm thinking like, okay, she's gonna get help. She's gonna do something. And he ends up getting out of the car to come and I guess get a better grip on me. And when he does, I reach over to the front and I lock the door.
This is wild. We should have probably watched this part first, because now we see like the mom and why like the house was in the mom name. Like the mom is damn near, you know what I'm saying? Like the mom is what she said. She seen the mom hang up the phone. I'm glad she snapped out of that shit, y'all. She definitely was brainwashed. She said she even had a phone. She could have called the police. She could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, it's sad to say, but like, I don't know. Like sometimes you just they gotta go through it, and they gotta be ready to leave themselves. That is what gotta happen. Shit, motherfuckers gotta be ready to leave themselves, especially if you're not. You know, she done mentioned she had 4 brothers. You know what I'm saying? He would have got his ass beat a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? Like. Somebody say, Blossom say, relationships like this are so dangerous you cannot trust their family either. Exactly. You have to get out ASAP, because if not, you might as well leave a note for your family so they'll know what happened to you for sure. Let me look over here on We Still Hustle Daily too. Let me see what y'all talking about. I love you too, baby. I love you too. She said that the mother is an enabler for sure. Imagine that shit. Like you call the mom trying to get help. Motherfucker, you call a mom trying to get help, goddamn, you over there fighting for your life. Next thing you know, you see the motherfucking phone hang up. Like, damn, that's fucked up, man. I ain't gonna lie.
When I lock the door, you would think she's gonna call the police. She's gonna get some help. Nope. I'm sad to say that was not the case. And once again, this is why I say I had to have been brainwashed, because when I think about this, like even when I was writing my book, I was thinking the whole time, like, people are gonna think I'm a fucking idiot. Because as I'm writing all these stories, it's like I'm talking to a character in a book that I'm reading, and I'm like, bitch, leave. The fuck are you thinking? Leave. You know? Or like I'm just talking to myself, like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, he just got out the car, you were able to lock the door, you have a phone, you have the keys to the vehicle, bitch, drive off. And I'm just sitting there in a frenzy in the front seat, boo-hoo crying, because his entire demeanor changes once I lock that door. Once I lock that door, he turns into a little kid with a heart. He's like, I'm sorry, like, Janaea, please open the door, like, we're in Carolina, it's racist out here, I have a case out here, all this shit. Right? Like they're gonna lynch him if I don't open the door. And I'm just like going back and forth with myself. Like, do I open the door? What do I do? So I'm just sitting there crying, like, shut the fuck up. So for some reason the video stopped. But anywho, basically I eventually let him back in the car. I know it's ridiculous, but that's why I say I had to have been brainwashed. But I let him back into the car. And from there, everything was just simple. Nothing transpired after that. It was silent, and it was as if everything was back to normal. It was very odd. But later, I was able to have a conversation with his mother, and I asked her, why would you hang up in a moment like that?
Exactly.
Yeah, and she told me, your screaming gave me anxiety.
Wow.
And that has stuck with me for a very long time, her saying that. Because for me, as a woman, I expected so much more. And even as an elder, I would have expected so much more from her. And it played that particular moment, because you know, when you're in an abusive relationship, it's like you kind of don't realize how much danger you were in until you're out of the situation, and then you look at it like, damn, this person could have fucking killed me, you know, or like they would have killed me had I not left. You get what I'm saying? So you realize how much danger you were in and how sick people can be, and things that you probably should have noticed during that time. You didn't. And I mean, if we get into the psychology of it, we know how deep it can really get. So I won't even really go there or give that that excuse to people that, oh, you should have known better. The reality is that you are a victim in that moment and you don't realize the dangers that you're in. But when you leave and you're on the outside, now looking in, you realize, oh, that person was fucking crazy. So it plays a huge part in how I look at things now and how I view them. I view them as very dangerous. I view her as very culpable in the abuse and just as dangerous as him, because if you're aware of how someone is and you make a conscious decision to support them, regardless of them being your son, I think you're a little off. So for me, it's a situation where I don't trust them being around my children. I mean, or my child. And it's more than just that, of course, and I'll go into those stories. But when someone can get on a stand and blatantly lie to protect their son, or can rewrite history and rewrite events to protect their son, instead of stepping back and saying, okay, I'm the elder here in this situation. I've witnessed my son beat this woman in front of me. I know that he needs some help. And, you know, she'd tell him things in private. I've seen the messages. I will give her that. She would tell him things privately. But then in the same breath, she would be sending me messages telling me I don't love him if I don't stay. Or, oh, you just run from your problems instead of facing them. And, oh, you'll just run into a new relationship instead of staying with this one and working it out. So when it gets that deep, you can't really trust a person like that. So like I said, for me, I look at it as, would you protect my daughter if one day his hatred for me overpowered his love for our child? And honestly, I can't say that I think she would, because when given the opportunity to protect a woman, you didn't do that. Instead, you protected your son, who was a violent abuser. So that was that story. And, you know, there were many other violent attacks after that, before I left. But that one is a very big one, because like I said, a big part of it made me realize how dangerous a narcissistic abuser's family could be as well. And it's, you know, it kind of paints a picture for you of maybe where those tendencies come from, or who may have been allowing them to behave that way for so long that it just kind of stuck with them and worked for them. But I hope you guys, I won't say enjoyed the story, but I'm happy to have been able to share my experience.
I'm glad she left, man. I'm glad she left. The mom is definitely an enabler. Somebody say probably where you get it from, for sure.
So I am so glad that you said this, and I wish that more women were.
Somebody say, she is a sad excuse for a human being. My son already knows that I will call the police on him and testify against him myself if he ever
Like you. And I wish that more mothers of boys stood on what they say when, you know, they make these sort of claims. Not saying that you're not telling the truth. I believe you, because you know, you found this video and you came and did this. But I remember his mom making this same, you know, statement and never calling the police after, you know, witnessing the abuse and everything. And this comment, like one specific incidents that it reminded me of is like I'm a few months postpartum and I'm just exhausted. I'm up all night. I'm raising this little cute baby girl by myself, and she, you know, she always wants to play house. Talking about his mom, always wants to play house, always wants to play build a family with me and her son. And she's like, can you come over? Like, I want to give you a break. He's gonna come over, he's gonna take care of the baby, I've talked to him, and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, he's gonna take care of the baby and give me a break. And she's like, yes, he's gonna take care of the baby, give you a break, I'll cook your favorite meal, just come and relax. And I'm kind of apprehensive because for the past week he's been taking me on one. Like, I'm a bitch every other day. I'm like, he's, you know, spazzing out, accusing me of dating other people even though we're not in a relationship anymore, all sorts of stuff. So I'm just kind of like, And then, you know, also I'm like telling him, like, you cannot be around our child behaving that way, making threats, calling me out of my name. It's not going to happen. So I'm kind of like weary. And she ends up saying, like, no, I promise nothing will happen. When people say that, you should already know something's about to fucking happen. So I'm kind of like, you know, I don't want to drive 2 hours with the baby. Like, and she's like, you know what, I'll come and get you, don't worry, I'll come and get you, leave your car there. And I'm kind of like, look, I'm really apprehensive because I don't want to be 2 hours away from my family with no car. Like, I do not want to deal with him being violent or acting crazy. She's like, look, I put this on my mama. These are her exact words. I will call the police myself if he tries you. And I'm like, okay, here I go, believing him. So pretty much I end up going along. She comes and gets me. It's supposed to be, you know, a weekend of relaxation. I'm supposed to be getting some rest and just nothing's on me. According to her, this is how it's going to be. So I get there and yeah, it's all on me. Every moment it's, I need to smoke, like, take the baby. I need to go to the bathroom, take the baby. I need to eat, take the baby. So I'm getting so frustrated because it's like, I could have did this at home. Like, I could have done this all at home without being bothered by either one of you guys. So I'm just kind of annoyed with the whole situation. And he sits down at the table and he's like, I need to eat, can you hold the baby? And I'm like, what do you think I do when I'm at home? I have to hold the baby when I'm eating. Like, you need to learn to do this. Like, it's called multitasking. And he gets so upset. He storms out, and I do follow him out. And I'm like, where are you going? Take your baby. You guys invited me here to relax and to have some time to myself. And he's like, you guys don't care about mental health, my mental health, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, goodness, mental health. Do you even know what it's like carrying a child, being beaten while pregnant, spit on, kicked, told that I don't care if you die or your baby dies? Mental health? Really? Like, come on. Raising a baby on your own. Like, all sorts of things that I'm going through at this point. And you're talking about, I don't care about mental health. Yours? Okay. Anywho. So he storms outside. He drives off. So eventually he comes back in. And I don't remember what happened or what was said. But he ends up calling me out of my name. Calls me a bitch. And I'm just so fed up because it's like, I did not come here to be disrespected. I did not come here to be abused. I came here to get a fucking break. Let me take my ass home. I knew I shouldn't have been here. So I call his cousin and I ask her, hey, can you get me and I will pay you to drive me home? And she's like, yeah, it'll be a couple hours because I have some things to do. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I start packing our bags, getting ready, and I'm just like, you know, I put the baby to sleep. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just relax. So pretty much when he sees me packing and everything, he's like, where the fuck are you going? And I'm telling him, like, I'm going home. Like, don't worry, I'm going home. And I'm also trying to calm everything down because whenever I leave, he gets angry. So, and I already know what comes after that. So I'm like, you know, I'm going home. It's okay. Like, it's good. And he's like, well, who the fuck is coming to get you? And he starts making up a scenario in his head that it's another man. So I tell him, I don't want to tell him who's coming to get me because I don't want him to contact her and tell her, like, no, stay out of her relationship, whatever. So I tell him, it's not a man. It's not anyone that would be disrespectful to your mother's home. And you don't really need to know. Just know that I'm leaving and it's okay. And he spazzes out, oh no, you're having somebody come to my house, my mama's house. And I'm like trying to explain to him, no, I'm really not. Like, so he ends up walking, he's itching towards me. And I'm telling him, like, relax, the baby is asleep. I don't want to do this with you. I already know what he's about to do. So he goes to his favorite attack mode and starts choking me. And I don't know if it was mama bearing me or what, because it's like I got the strength of, you know, all my ancestors at once, and literally turned him every which way but fucking loose and grabbed everything I could possibly find to get him the fuck off of me so that I could get to my baby. And so pretty much his mom comes running in and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And I explained to her, he put his fucking hands on me. He thinks that there's a man coming to get me. His cousin's coming to get me, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, he's going to fucking jail. I'm calling the police. I'm not doing this once and for all. I'm done. So I grab my phone. Instantly snatches my phone from me.
Yeah, you know the mama.
Takes my phone and proceeds to run it over. Like, literally ran it over back and forth. Now, mind you, I own a business at this time. And so I'm like, all of my business is on that phone. Like, I literally have a client who is coming into town that day, and I'm like, he just ran over my phone. So, anyway, basically, there's no way for me to call for help or anything like that. He leaves, and she's like telling him, he ends up coming back, bringing my phone is shattered, and she tells him, go into the back room, go cool off. And I'm looking like, go into the back room? If you don't send this motherfucker home, like, he has an apartment, why are you telling him to go to the back room and I have no means for transportation or to call anybody for help? You know, so like, I'm like infuriated because after all of this, she's still trusting him to remain inside of the home after he just attacked me in front of her child. So basically some minutes pass, whatever, she's sweeping up broken glass, everything. He comes from the back room, and instantly I see it in his eyes, and I'm like, oh, okay. So he's walking towards me, but I'm thinking in my head, he's gonna walk into the room and get my baby, and he's gonna leave with her. So I start walking to the room. Nope. Grabs me by my hair. I was his target. Starts punching me in the head, just hitting me. And his mom's like, no! She literally tackles him to the ground. Once again, strength of my ancestors. Because the way that I had him pinned on that ground, and I'm not even going to go into the details, but the way that happened was just like, I was filled with so much rage. And it's like, she actually had him pinned because she works in law enforcement, so she has him on his back like this, and I'm just, it was pretty much, let's fast forward. Do you think she called 911? No, she didn't. The neighbors called 911 because in the middle of her attacking me before I got the upper hand, she ends up saying, get off of her, you're gonna kill her, you're gonna kill her, get off of her, when he was choking and punching me in the head and everything. And they called the police. The police shows up. She lies. How did this glass get broken? Oh, my father just died and I dropped the glass. Is anybody hurt? No. And guess what? The police doesn't even separate us. So I proceed to tell them that nothing happened. I was crazy. It was a lot.
Yo, she said the mother works in law enforcement. Oh my God. Hey, what could I say? You know? You yourself gotta get tired of that shit, man. That's all I can say. And she finally got tired of that shit. That was a lot, though, because she even went back 8 months after the baby was born too. So you know, you gotta get tired of that shit. I will tell y'all this though. Come fuck with a big boss player like myself, I ain't gonna never put my hands on you, girl. You gonna treat you right. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna have a good time too. And I goddamn lay the law if you want me to. Shit, y'all better stop playing. Yeah, man, but you gotta goddamn get tired, y'all. Goddamn, so man, shit. That's all. Pretty much all I can say. She realized now, you know. But hey, god damn, that was a lot. You know what I'm saying? You said you hope she protects her daughter from this man and her mom. Yeah, I won't. She says she ain't allowing them to see her. So, hey man, that's crazy. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. Guess what? We're gonna be back here the same time tomorrow. Okay? And what can we learn today? Man, if you got a nigga that's putting his hands on you, go on and call the police on him. And come fuck with a big boss player like myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna treat you right. We're gonna have a good time. You know what I'm talking about? Peace.